So am I the only one who feels like there's a bigger issue that nobody's even talking about? The fact that every single time it's a man. Every time. We're letting Roblox and Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto raise our boys.
World, men rule the world. Like James Brown said, it's a man's world, but he wouldn't be nothing without his woman. But it's going to take good men to fix this problem. Leaders don't cower and go in a corner and cry and say, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You're supposed to be the man, the head, the leader, the strong one. Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. We know that Charlie Kirk passed away recently. He was assassinated, and there are millions of people who are mourning him, and there are also a number who aren't. And there's a video clip I want to share with you of a man who sort of had an epiphany about men and violence. There just was an article released about our country, the United States of America, being one of the most unsafe countries in the world. And I have to say that ever since Columbine happened, we haven't seen it stop. These mass unalivings with the weapons. And I mean, it always existed. Okay, crime always existed and people taking each other out with the weapons. But what we're seeing, the scale that we're seeing it was not like that when we were younger. No, it was not. Not like what we're seeing. So Charlie Kirk was taken out by a young white man from Utah, Mormon family, allegedly had a trans girlfriend or boyfriend or something like that. And this man is just sitting down and he's really thinking about, wow, a lot of us men, we are the main ones committing a lot of crime, not just in the United States, but around the whole world. I mean, think about it. You have women in other countries, strict laws, can't wear what they want to wear, and they're still getting raped and abused. So let's listen to what he had to say real quick, and I will give you my opinion.
So am I the only one who feels like there's a bigger issue that nobody's even talking about? The fact that every single time it's a man. Every time. It's a man. It's a guy. It's a teenage boy. Every time. And nobody's talking about it. And I don't understand why we're not addressing the fact that men are killing everybody. Like, if every other week it was a story about a woman going in and shooting up a bunch of kids at a school, and a woman who was being a sniper and taking somebody out, and a woman went into a church and shot up a whole bunch of people, I can guarantee you people would be having a lot of conversations about all the things that are wrong with women. But guys, we're letting Roblox and Call of Duty and, Grand Theft Auto raise our boys. We're letting online personalities who are about getting clicks and crap teach people how to be men, and it's just nonsense. And real men need to step up and realize we're not getting it done, man. And it's not a left thing and it's not a right thing. It's a man thing. There's so much pain, so much sadness, so much hurt that is being passed down and carried through the days of their lives that men are not talking about. I don't know if we need to stop, all fantasy and all betting and golf and frickin' sports for a month and just give guys a minute to get their crap together. But it's about time, we do something, because just continuing to pass on the shame or the anger, the frustration, the sadness of whatever is going on in life that is continuing to perpetuate men's ability and willingness to kill other people and not do anything about it is just, that time has come and gone. And we as a community, as men in particular, need to stop just saying it's something. That it's us. And that means we all collectively need to do better. We'd ask the same thing if it was some other group.
Okay, so I want to read some of the comments that were under his video, but before I do, okay, one thing that he said that is so true is that if it were women taking the lives of men and children every week, something would change. Because even when women have smurdered their husbands, they've gotten harsher sentences than men who smurdered their wives. This is true. Now, that was back in the day. Maybe it has changed a little bit, but he is saying we are the problem. We are the ones committing the most femicide, the mass you know what's every damn month towards each other. And he says that men have to step up. And it's true. This generation, look, there are a lot of people who believe that we are in the last days. That can mean something different for everyone's view of the last days could be different. Some people believe, Jesus is coming back and the rapture and the end of the world. Other people believe it's just the last days of a functioning society and everything goes into ruin and everyone regresses. That's also what some people think, a fallen state. And I know that's Jesse Lee Peterson. I think that's the name of his channel, but a fallen species type of thing. And I believe that every generation is responsible for the next. So he's saying, look, us older men, okay, Gen X, boomers, a few millennial men have to step up, because he said these guys are listening to these red pill, these podcasters, influencing them. There was a study that only about 30% of couples are even having SCX, or guys are not getting laid. I have said it before, when men are very SCXually frustrated, they have tempers, they're more aggressive and they're more violent. And you factor that in with their hatred already for women, plus not getting laid, you have a disaster. Why do you think in conservative countries that's not even free like our countries, the women are being told you can't come out, cover one eye, or do this and that, because the men cannot control themselves no matter what the women are wearing, okay? It is the man that's the common denominator globally that's the danger to women. And it's not something new. Men have been smurdering humans since the beginning of time. There is no time in history where women weren't being raped and children, taking conquests, destroying villages for other people's resources, and enslaving the men and women and raping the women, the children, servitude, all this type of thing. This is a global thing with the male species that only they can fix. And the reason you see our world looking the way that it does, where you constantly see children and women, especially children and women and men, never getting justice for crimes like rape, is because men rule the world and they sympathize with rapists because half of them would also rape, or they don't think that it's a big deal because they're not women and children and they're not the ones experiencing that. They're protecting them. So the reason you don't see the world improving is because, well, a lot of men who are naturally more violent with testosterone and who don't value women protect other men. And there's a reason why they cannot stand the thought of women getting power in politics, because I think deep down they are afraid of what we would do to them for their crimes against children and women, and yes, even men. Now, I'm not saying all men are crazy and nut jobs and stuff like that, but I go by what we see. What have we seen and continue to see on a global scale of what's being done to women and children? Okay, what is the common denominator? And I'm not saying we don't have any sick nut job women out here. We do. But the majority is always men, no matter how conservative the country is, no matter what. Now, some countries do have some law and order, but let's be real here. Okay, that's why I had said in a video that religion helps tame the beast, as you can say. It helps keep them from acting on their thoughts and impulses, which is naturally violent and rapist, a good portion. Not all of them. There's a reason other men make rules to separate boys from girls, or don't wear this or that, because they know. There have been several men who have already said, if you knew the thoughts that go through our minds, you wouldn't look at us the same. Men have said this. And there are women who have some sick thoughts, but I mean, I'm not here to argue about it. Okay, I'm here to live in reality. What have we seen? What you want it to be is not what it is, nor has it been in thousands of years. Now, men are slowly having these conversations. There are some men who have empathy for women. There are men who do see their mother and sisters and other women and wouldn't want something to happen to them. And I find it interesting how there's always such a push to have kids, have kids. A lot of the world don't love kids, especially in America. There is this pressure, have kids, have kids. Kids are not even protected at large. No mass searches when they go missing in large numbers, the trafficking, the healthcare, bad healthcare, so much. This is not to me a very kid-friendly world in my opinion, okay? So he's basically saying, look, we got a lot of men who are just straight up dangerous and predators, and we need to do something because a lot of the men are out of control. Okay. And, women, we could talk about it, but at the end of the day, we're not strong like men, and they know that's what they have over us. And I don't want to fight a man. I don't want to rule over a man, but women can help heal the world. And they know this. But they don't want us to have that power to get some order up in here, the man being the head and everything like that. So it's only so much women can do. The world, men rule the world. Like James Brown said, it's a man's world, but he wouldn't be nothing without his woman. Men rule the world. It is what it is, and that's how it's been. Will it change? Maybe men and women can equally run the world together with law and order and government. Maybe. But it's going to take good men to fix this problem. You have to have strong, good men that's willing to challenge other men and step up. Now, men, there are, you do have laws and stuff that men have created, but it hasn't been always effective, but they try some of them. It's going to take a large scale amount of men to do it. They have to get empathy. They have to get empathy, and they have to do what's right. They have to do what's right. And it's not going to happen without the men taking charge and stepping up. And then when you have men who want to help protect women and stand up for women, you have men saying it's simping. Oh, I'm only going to protect my woman. F all the other women. I don't see my mother and sister. I don't care if that could have been my daughter. And it's always interesting how men always say, it wasn't until I had a daughter that I could actually see a woman as a human being and actually respect them or actually have thoughts, oh my God, I don't want that to happen to my daughter. And in some cases, they love their daughter, but they still don't give a damn about other women. But let it happen to their daughter, all of a sudden they understand. I mean, it's sickening, I want law and order across the whole land. I want people to do what's right, and I want these laws to change. When I hear about people, I'm going to show the comments. Give me 1 second. When I hear about so many people claiming to be Christian, going to church, but we have all this craziness going on every single week, there's not enough law and order. And then when people say we need to give the D penalty, no. If the D penalty was strong, and Charlie Kirk got talked about because he said he wanted public unalivings. I can't say the word X, so you know what. And some people were so upset. He said for certain people like rapists and child rapists. And that, there are a number of people who feel that way. If the fear of God was put into them to stop doing some of these crimes, all types of the sickest stuff, crime probably would go down. It's just interesting again, because in the Bible it said eye for an eye. Now, I'm not saying to go around hurting everybody, but under the law, I feel like if you put your somebody I don't even want to say some of the stuff I've seen, the articles. Just let me just leave it as some of the sickest, horrible, brutal things I've ever seen. True justice is to deal with them. Okay? There are people who will say, well, God said, vengeance is mine. I feel like while you're here on the planet with man, we gonna make some laws, man's law, and then when you pass away, then God can deal with you. Because it's off the chain here. In other countries, they actually do the hangings and stuff like that for very heinous crimes and stuff to keep some law and order. Now, I don't believe in that for little stuff like, oh, somebody had some weed or something. No. Or someone got in a fight. I'm talking about some of the sickest, most heinous things in grapes, So, okay. I don't want to talk too much. I know I've been talking, but let's see some of the comments that were under his video. Okay, so here are some of the comments under the video, okay? We don't have a GUN violence issue. We have a male violence issue. Women have the same access to GUN's weapons that men have, yet we don't participate in 98% of the GUN violence. Certain words I can't say, okay? Nobody is talking about it. Is patriarchy hiding the truth from you? Women are talking about it, and we have been talking about it. This is why women are no longer dating men, because we are not safe. The men are broken. Address it. They won't even admit that is true. Before we knew anything about Kirks' Smurderer, I knew one thing. It wasn't a woman. Now you see why women choose the bear. Dear algorithm, this video is for men, not thousands of women. Yeah, they don't necessarily push this to men to see. He's addressing men. As a male, this is what I've been saying for years. There's a whole male culture crisis that's not going to therapy, not expressing their emotions in a healthy way. The list goes on. Women have been talking about it for years. The men are not talking about it, and they don't want to. They don't want to. A number of them. I want y'all to know that we know a lot of you, most of you are decent, but y'all get so complacent that you think you don't need to do anything, and you get so defensive if we point out anything about y'all in general. You take it as an attack. Oh my goodness, she just said something that I was going to say. Okay, every woman is talking about this. Maybe you meant to say men are not admitting that women are right about what they are observing and experiencing. Major mistake to say no one is talking about this. We have been yelling this from the rooftops for 50 years. Women are talking about it. You know what's so interesting to me with one of those comments is that it's the same thing I experience when I bring up Black women's femicide. And in different videos that I've done on different platforms, when I say that Black men are smurdering us like it's a sport, they get upset. One guy even said that, why are you saying this? You're causing division. So what am I supposed to live in La La Land and you just ignore it? They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. It's like, oh, we're just going to move forward and pretend this is not a problem and that this is not happening to Black women. And when I talk about it, they try to compete with me about who's taking who out. Oh, well, abort, you know what? Mind you, it's not even a fetus yet or anything. The baby don't even truly exist all the way yet. Versus a full-grown woman that's being stabbed to you know what, or gunned down or beat up till she's no longer living and all types of stuff. And it's like, why are you bringing this up to deflect the facts that Black women are the most murdered women in America, but yet we're the biggest minority? This is actually a crisis and disgusting, and they don't want us to talk about it, even some Black women. But the Black men get offensive and defensive. It's like if you really love Black women, you would actually think this is horrible and think, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. We need to do something. This is horrible. This is trifling. That's not the response. The response is, you're bashing us. How am I bashing you for telling something that's a fact every year? They don't want you to address it. Like that woman said, they want to live in la la land. And if it's not affecting me or anyone in my family, or they just don't care, you're a woman and, they just don't care. A number of them. No matter how much some of them claim to love you, they don't even care about you being smurdered like sport every single week. No, they get offensive. It's something about it where they go into, like she said, it's an attack on me. Well, damn it, a lot of you are dangerous. A lot of you. Y'all even a danger to yourselves. But it's just no accountability. Like some say, it's sickening and it's actual evil. It's evilness, actually. And it's a lack of leadership. Men who lead, if you're trying to build something and lead something, the captain of the ship has to do an analysis. He has to reflect. Why didn't this work? What did we do wrong? Let's take a look at it. This is the problem. How do we fix it? What's the solution to make it better? That's what leaders do. Leaders don't cower and go in a corner and cry and say, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And live in la la land. You cannot have a thriving community of any kind when you have men who refuse to address the problem because I'm too ashamed, I have pride, or it's bashing me. So what, you want a bunch of crazy rapists and murderers and cannibals and all types of stuff running around? You're supposed to be the man, the head, the leader, the strong one. So get up and fix the problem. Because 98% of the time, it is men. Okay? And a lot of men don't care until their daughter is the one who's been found stuffed in a suitcase. Their daughter or son has been found, can't walk, can't have children, pelvic and organs messed up from a grape, bleeding. Or they come home and their wife has been raped or hacked up or something. Then you can get something from them. I'm just saying. And it's not going to change until good men step up. And I've actually seen men and women sympathizing with some of these demonic people running around. There was actually a leader in a part of Africa who wanted to castrate the rapists. There's actually a group, including some women, saying, that's painful for them. Geez, you don't think it was painful when the victim was literally split open? You didn't think that was painful? Being raped? But you got sympathy for a rapist's pain? You see how sick some people are? There's a great fear in the world of a leader rising that actually handles business. I was surprised at how many people were offended that Charlie Kirk actually said, give public you-know-what. Extra you-know-what. Oh, that's so wrong. It's actually, in my opinion, for certain types of people, is not, in my opinion. It depends on the crime, and he also said that. So, but that's a whole different video. Okay? So, you heard what he said. A lot of men are, in fact, the issue, and we have to step up as men. You have these guys today, baby, look, I'm a millennial. Men weren't perfect then, but what I'm seeing right now is something we ain't never seen. No generation before me at large has seen what we're seeing now. With the whole, they don't know what their gender is, some of them. All these new words and stuff. It's like, look, baby, you just sleep with men and women at the same time. That's all this comes down to half the time. The mass unalivings, yes, we saw with Columbine, and it hasn't stopped since. The men with the podcasts who claim they can't stand women, but they're always bothering a woman if a woman didn't get married or have children, but yet they claim they don't want women anyway. And women ain't even doing nothing to them. It's a man's world still at large. So what are they so angry about? I think some of them are not getting laid. And that's a big factor as to why they're so pent up and uptight, stuck up, and constantly angry at women who haven't done anything to them at large. just wanted to be treated with respect and love and to be courted, and don't want to pay for a man, you know? So, and I'm not saying that the culture today is that great with what I'm seeing going on with some women as well, but I'm just saying. So I think that's a big factor, being locked up. A lot of the men, they're not dating. They think that they're going to make women be servants while not getting anything in return. A number of them don't have the women that they want. Some, they don't have what she wants, or they just get rejected. They're not getting laid. Some of them have daddy issues and mommy issues, frustration because of the economy and the lack of pay and the pressures that some men do feel. If they're not able to be everything that society, or what a lot of women do in fact want, these type of things. So yeah, and women are a lot more vocal now about their unhappiness and things that they go through. And you have a lot of crazies who are taking people out right along with them, So it's chaos. And then what can you say? The men have to step up to help fix this problem. So look, that is it for this video. But before I go, give me a quick little second. I want to share this company. Ladies, this is some products for your yoni. You know what your yoni is. It's the kitty cat. Okay, these are pH balance friendly products, as well as oil, shower washes, so much. Okay, eliminates odor, all types of stuff. Go to www.purefreshco.com. Check out these products. And of course, ladies, if you ever have to go to the clinic, then go to the clinic. But these are still good products to have, so check them out. Okay, so that is it. Please like, share, and subscribe, baby. I want to know what your opinion is about this, what he's saying, him realizing who the true danger at large is in society. Now, are all men doing crazy stuff? No, they're not. But when you do see it, most of the time, what gender is it? That's why men need to stop bothering us about being emotional. We might be more vulnerable and emotional, but we might cry it out. We're not going around smirking up children and men and women every single week in large numbers. Whether we're more emotional or not, who is the one that has more control over their emotions when we have them? Okay? So that is it. Please like, share, and subscribe if you want to support the channel. My Cash App was on the screen. Okay, thank you so much. All right, you all take care, and I will see you on the next video. Bye, everybody.